I also thank Deputy Gino Kenny for bringing forward this bill today. I know I've said this before, and I think it needs to be said again and again. The so-called war on drugs has utterly failed to achieve those objectives and has caused untold damage to our communities. How do we know? Because we see it in our streets, we see it in our communities, in our pubs, our clubs. In fact, pretty much anywhere we go, there are signs of drug use. And I'm not talking about the most devastating, the most destructive and abused drug in our country, that legal drug called alcohol. And I note earlier on the comments in relation to the attempt to criminalise that many years ago. I'm disappointed the government has decided to kick the can further down the road. We need to now move forward, debate, discuss, tease out what it means, how this approach actually impacts in our community on the ground. I look forward to that debate, and I look forward to a radical change in our approach to the use of drugs in this state. But there are things that we can do now to support our communities. We can get back to putting the community back in its rightful place as a core member of the drug strategy and to end the isolation of the community sector in the national drug strategy. We can ensure that those delivering the health-led services are fully resourced to deal with problematic drug use. Many of those projects on the front line have still not recovered from the devastating effects of the cuts during the austerity years. We can resource mental health services for people with mental health issues. I have no doubt that the increased potency of weed has been sold to very young people, and that's very young people, is having a serious effect on their mental health. We believe that while we have some specific concerns as outlined by Deputy Daly, it should be allowed to pass the committee to give it further scrutiny. The time for discussing this is now. We have, as we've seen in the debates in the Citizens' Assembly, that there is very strong support for a different approach, a health-led approach, and a change in legislation about how we deal with people and how people are criminalised and jailed for relatively small use of drugs. So I would certainly urge that the government would change their opinion on this and would allow this to move forward so that we can deal with this as a country, as a community, in a proper way. Gurmagat.